This
Oh, hang on.
conference will now be recorded.
Stupid woman. That's the GoToMeeting woman, sorry. Right, okay. So today's knowledge share is kindly sponsored by eTabs. eTabs bringing cutting edge automated charting for projects in PowerPoint and Google Slides. Right, so I'd like to thank Alex very much for doing this presentation, and I'm going to make him presenter so that he can share his screen and show us his slides. Right, there you go, Alex.
Okay, so I can see it's changed, but you'll just have to wait a second.
Yeah, you've frozen actually.
Yeah, everyone's frozen now. Yeah, everyone's frozen on my side as well.
Okay.
Is that better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So can everyone see the slideshow?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to talk to you about Linktree today and business websites. So this is just about my experience of switching to Linktree from using a business website, and I'm interested to hear from other people what they do really. Maybe you can learn something about Linktree and discuss your use of business websites yourself. So just a little bit about business websites and my experience before. So the first thing I was thinking about when I was using one of these websites before was the cost of hosting a website and buying a domain, and also the choice of the ending, so .co.uk or .com. This might have an influence on your clients or even yourself. You might feel it's more recognized to have such an ending, and you can pay more for them as well. There's quite a lot of different ones out there now that are cheaper and at different prices. There are also different prices available for the support you get from hosts. So some places that host these websites, they can offer you support to build your website. Some even have a basic builder embedded, so it can be really easy. You can get set up even in a day. And then there's also bespoke websites that you can pay a developer to create a site, which I think is something that more people did in the past, but nowadays, unless you're making quite a lot of money or you really want a bespoke site, people are kind of shifting towards things that are more off the shelf and easier to manage. Anyway, this allows a sort of flexibility in design, and you can add different elements such as payments, sales, and a contact form to your site. So these can be really useful for managing your business, having that intermediary place between you and potential customers or customers. I think a lot of people in the research world use websites as a portfolio as well, to demonstrate what they've done, what they're doing, and also host testimonials to support future work. And these were some of the things I was looking for as well. However, social media is very popular, as everyone knows, and the cost of designing, maintaining, and updating a website, especially if people are running a micro business, can be quite time-consuming, costly as well. Increasingly, people are talking about things like clicks and sharing, and social media is much easier to do that. And also, there's a question of trust. So, which channels are trusted? So, your own website tends to be more trusted maybe than some aspects of social media. But there's also LinkedIn that a lot of people are using now, which is, I think, quite trusted. So there's a question here about if you are switching or not using a website, what is seen as authentic and safe and good and promotes your business. So Linktree is a site that was originally built to share a link in bio. So it's a simple form and function. It's kind of like a modern business card initially, and it was popularized originally on Instagram. So there, the space is limited, unlike some forms of social media. And so you could put this one link underneath your name, and people would use Linktree to kind of package up everything they've done. It could be videos or the business, etc. And the site's expanded now in terms of the features and service customization available. And there's even people using it not just in a personal capacity, but celebrities, small businesses, and increasingly academics too. And there's a link here which talks about their 5 billion subscribers from 2020, so they're probably on more now. I think that shows that it's an expanding site and quite trustworthy and a big place to go as well. There are other competitors available, so do check online for alternatives. And I'm not paid by Linktree. I have no association with them, so this is just a talk about my experience really as a knowledge share. So if you're interested to know more about it, this is how your main page might look. Your profile image at the top there can be customized. So I've just created mine. It's just a black background, but you can put an image there, a picture of yourself if you wish, or whatever else. You can also change the background. So mine has a sort of red and orange hue, but you can change it different things at different tiers. You can alter that as well. And as I said, your link in a bio, it looks like this really. So you see here, I've got 5 links, and you can customize the different ones. You can change the icons. As on the left, you've got like a little scroll, a little pen, a book. You can change those so people visually can see what you have. And you can also have different types of what's called apps. So the one at the top is actually it's actually a PDF. So when people click on there, as I'll show you later, you'll see a mini version of a PDF, so you can embed documents like that. Otherwise, it will take you straight to the site where that link's hosted. So it might be an article somewhere else you have or something like that, and the person would go straight there. And at the bottom, you can display different types of contact. So I've got email there, and you can put your phone number, and those are customizable. People can click on them as well. So let's have a look. So if I was looking at the profile section in particular, this is how it would look behind the main website. You can change your profile title. So you know the events can be customized, your bio can be customized, and you can also add different icons here, like Amazon, Etsy. So if you want to push people to these sites, you can. So this is how the document app would look. So I thought this was useful because I wanted to have, moving from the previous website to this one, I wanted to have more detail about what I do. So I embedded that PowerPoint there. You might have different documents and things, articles or whatever. You can put them in there. And they do show up quite small on a mobile, so it's something to think about, something to check, you know, with yourself, open it on your phone, is this what I want? But usefully within that, you can also see how many people have clicked on it. It's something that you can play around with as well. You can turn things on and off. So if, for example, you wanted to display this for a certain time and then take it away, you can toggle that behind. You don't need to keep uploading it and taking it off. But I think the clicks is useful to have just for your own knowledge, really. So in terms of content sharing, so increasingly people are using different platforms to share their content and some aspects about themselves, about their business. So if you use any of these, they call them apps, but they're the websites and programs. You can add those on there as well, and they'll appear in the list of links. And here's just some examples. You can have different types of music. Spotify, YouTube might be of relevance, and there's a whole load more in there that you can look at as well. So, for example, they've increased their availability of things to make money. So monetization, you've got PayPal, tip jar, all these different aspects. I mean, I don't personally use these yet, but people may use them. And I know in the news space, taking payments through these different programs and websites is becoming more popular. So you can put those in there as well. And there's also a space for social media and followers as well. So any of these sites that people use, you can link them in there. There's also an analytics part of the site behind this. So if you're on the free site version, which I am currently, it's only limited to a certain time period going backwards. But if you pay, you can increase that time period and you can get more options. So you can see on the right hand side here, top performing links, subscribers. There's a whole load of information you can get, which is kind of comparable to what you could get on a website using something like Google Analytics. I know a lot of people use that in business as well. So how much does it cost? So as of April, you've got two options. You can pay monthly or you can pay annually. The cost for an annual one, the premium service, was about 137 if you pay monthly, or 113 if you pay annually up front. Um, so I mean, I think this compares kind of favourably to having just a basic website, especially the middle and the lower tier. But it really depends what you want out of it. And as I've suggested, you can get more analytics and different options to change your background stuff the more you pay. So it's worth exploring that if you think this would be of use. But you can just make a free site, as I have as well, to start out. So I wanted to open up a bit of discussion, I guess, after showing you in a whistle-stop way what Linktree is. So are people using traditional websites? Why? What works for you? Might Linktree work for you as an alternative or an add-on to what you're doing? And finally, how do you promote yourself online? Do websites or an online presence drive business for you, or maybe it's more informal? So yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss really. I'm trying to close the PowerPoint. Have I closed it now?
Yes, you have.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I hope that was useful for people, or
It's
if
very
anyone got any
interesting.
questions.
I've not heard of it before. Had you, Fabienne?
No, I haven't. That was one of my question actually. How popular is it, and what sort of company do you find on it? I mean, is it all sector, or is it? I mean, is there some market research companies already? What do you see there, Alex?
Yeah, if you I don't know if Lynn's going to share the slides later, but there's an article by themselves from 2022 that's linked, and it says they've got 5 million users of then. So that was 3 years ago. So they've been expanding since then, and all sorts of different people are on it, like celebrities, people who make music, and artists are on there. I think academics are increasingly on it as well, so they're using it as a sort of business card. So if you've written an article before, you can, that's why I was showing the PDF, you can do that. Or if your articles are hosted elsewhere, then you can put the links in there and people will be taken straight to it. So I don't know if market research companies are on there, but I think it's quite useful as like a bolt on to what you do. So when you want to quickly show people what you've done or what you're working on currently,
Mm.
or who you are, you could put this underneath your email signature, for example, and it's just one link that people have to click on. Because what I was finding was I was doing different things here and there, like something this month, something that month, and always changing underneath my email signature, and you end up promoting lots of different things. Whereas this is just one link, and you can tell people the latest thing I've done is on there. So I think it would work that way. Um, does that help answer your question? I hope so.
Yeah, sure, totally. And another one I had, I mean, you mentioned a contact form. Is there a way through that, or is it just purely analytics on who has clicked? I mean, how many people have clicked? Or because I'm thinking about upgrading my contact form for the moment is a very basic Excel form that I need to update regularly with my clients and suppliers, and I was wondering if that offers any tools on that area.
Yeah, it's a good point. You'd have to look into the different tiers. So the tier I'm in, the free tier, it
Mhm.
has that basic analytics. Sorry, for the last month. So I think if you really wanted better analytics, you'd have to pay to join one of the levels. I don't know what the difference would be,
Mhm.
but I think that would be something to investigate. Because as it stands, I don't think the analytics are really that great as a free level. It's just how many people have visited, which links have been clicked on. Um, so it sounds like if you're using to manage things in more depth, you
Mhm.
probably need a bit more than what this does, I think.
Yeah.
Have you linked this to your LinkedIn?
You know what's funny about that? So I have, but when I was doing it, I found that LinkedIn, it doesn't really display your website very well. I don't know what you found, but there's a part of your profile where you can add contacts, right? And I put the LinkedIn there,
Mhm.
the link tree there. But then when you go on your profile, it's kind of not, for me, it's not very clear. Do you have the same experience, or is it just me? Or...
To be honest with you, I don't think I've linked my website to LinkedIn, to be honest. It's more just me on there. So it was just an interesting thing because it certainly feels like a business card type thing, more than
Yeah, yeah,
kind of a nice thing to put on your LinkedIn. I just wondered if you'd actually, if it's easy
yeah,
to connect to LinkedIn, or because I think that would be
yeah.
where the benefit lies for a lot of people, I would think, with linking it to LinkedIn. I don't know what other people think.
I'd
Mm.
have to look, just having a quick look here on the apps. It might be on one of the apps that you can add, but in terms of LinkedIn itself, when I tried to make this website more obvious, um, it wasn't very clear, and that would be the same for any website. But if you wrote it under your profile, like like you would in Instagram, which is what this was originally made for, then it would be clear. So when you've got your name underneath, you can write whatever you want, can't you? Like
Mm.
researcher or interested. I think you could paste this link in there. Um, so I don't know if that's exactly what you want really, or do you want your LinkedIn profile to be on LinkedIn, Linktree, like as one of the links? Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I was just thinking about usage. I like Fabienne. I hadn't heard of this before, so I was just wondering for uses. Really, it's interesting for sure for a potential. Kind of see it as an online business card to a degree, so it looks interesting. But I just wondered how potential uses really. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, in the short term, I think as a business card or replacement for a website where all you want to do is promote, what you've done and such like, I think that it's fine. If you've got different articles and things you've written across the web and you only want to have one link in your email signature, you can use it that way. As I was saying, there are monetization aspects to this, but in terms of members of the ICG, I don't think we would necessarily use those things like like Etsy, PayPal, etc. I don't think that's how we operate, but something to delve into because I mean I don't know about those aspects for other people, other businesses. Maybe that is a way people want to work. But I would imagine most people take payment directly from the client.
Mm.
Gather it could be useful, for instance, on Instagram, where you can only have one link, but,
Well,
but
that's
that
where
in
yeah,
itself,
that's where it comes from. It comes from that
yeah.
space.
Mm.
Um, so that's the original purpose. Yes.
Mm.
But they're not selling it as mutually exclusive to a website, are they? I mean, you could have both
No,
easily.
no. Of course, yeah, and you can like I've got the free version because I was paying for um, a website off the shelf website that was customizable, and I was thinking, well, why am I still paying for this? Because I don't use various features of that website anyway,
Mm.
and so that this might serve my purpose. I was just testing the water really. Um,
Yeah.
so something to
Without a
think about.
website, what about your online presence then? Without a website, you what would
Yeah,
you?
I had it, but I shut it down, and I've got this now, and I've got LinkedIn, as you say, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
do
don't
you
have a
use a you don't use a website? Do you use a
no.
website, Justin?
I do, but we have. I guess we're a quant agency with kind of a with with a with a number of offerings. So it's more kind of we promote ourselves and then people come to our website. I'm not saying our website's very good, but it's got all our offerings on there. And I, it's interesting for sure, but I'm not sure how many people would know about it. That's the only thing. So if you had that instead of your website, it would. I think I'd have it as well as because I don't know many people. I haven't done any research on it, but I don't know many people who know Linktree. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in touch with it, but that's why I'm here to find out about it. So. So I wouldn't really want to replace the website, but you can just have it as a complementary to it. If you have it on a, might be quite nice to do a bottom of a business card saying recent projects or things we've done or whatever. That could be a nice way of doing it. I don't know what people think.
I've always thought to be taken seriously, you need to have a website so that people can find you and see that you're, bona fide. And like you say, if you've got different offerings, you need to showcase those. But I think this could be a great adjunct.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Are we all rushing off to sign up for the free version?
Oh,
It's
look at it. I'm interested. I wouldn't be on the call if I wasn't interested. So I was just thinking of uses though. I'm not sure. I wonder if it's better for individuals rather than businesses, but that's my gut feel. But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. I mean, it's an evolving space. Like there are kind of competitors, as I say, but from what I saw, this was the best one of those. But it's like, that's kind of what my end slide was, that there's lots of things out there. Like there's LinkedIn, there's all kinds of other things that have even smaller user base that I've not heard of myself. So it's just sort of opening people's eyes, having a think about it. I think your point's really valid, really, Justin, as it could be used as an add-on, as a business card, or even as a space to put certain things, but not the main thing. But yeah, something to think about. And you can, as I say, you can customize it more if you pay. So you can make it look more professional with the background, and you can get more fonts and such like. With the free version, it's more limited. But it depends what it's for, really, doesn't it?
It's certainly good. It looks good value if you can get used to it. That's for sure, because it looks very competitive pricing. So. That's interesting.
Any other questions for Alex?
I was actually asking my daughters if their portfolio is on that, because as you mentioned, lots of grads do that, and I know one of my daughters has her portfolio online, but I was wondering if it was the one she's using. She's not responding. But
Yeah, I've seen academics using it because they have a lot of journal articles, and
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so that works. It does work for them. But these things change all the time, so you kind of have to just try them out, investigate, really. But yeah, maybe that's what they are doing. Yeah.
Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I'd like to thank Alex very much for giving up his time, and it was really interesting and a bit of an eye-opener and something to investigate. So thank you very much. Thank you both for coming.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alex.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.